Think House is coming in today?
Maybe if we start offering spa treatments.
He already jumped off of a hotel balcony. Who knows what he'll do next?
Ride some kind of prostitute chariot to work?
First person to offer me an interesting case gets to ride her. Single or double team. My scooter. Which, now said out loud, sounds even more inappropriate.
Seriously? You're bringing them to work now?
23-year-old homeless man brought into the ER with burn injuries and...
Let me guess, diagnosis was fire.
He said his burning flesh smelled like licorice and the ER antiseptics like blueberry muffins.
Cool. Dysosmia could be anything from an environmental factor to early sign of a degenerative brain disease. Smells like a winner. Okay, you and Chase go check out the park where they found him. You two load him up with prednisone, give him an odor ID test. He's still mistaking his body odors for candy. Problem's definitely in his brain. Also, find out what else he's lying about. Since I'm assuming Ferris Bueller is not his real name.
Why? Seriously, who is that?
They say he's a righteous dude.
Before I forget, I want you to meet Dominika. She's about to become a permanent member of Team House.
Nice to be meeting you all.
Doing what, exactly?
Me. We're getting married on Friday. Mount up.
I don't think that two people are supposed
Live it on the edge, baby doll.
How's the arm?
It hurts. Do I have to check out now?
Not until we figure out why your sense of smell is off. When was the first time you noticed it?
Maybe a couple of months ago.
We also need you to tell us your real name so we can review your medical records.
I didn't ask to come here. Okay, I'm not paying for any of this.
Don't worry. I don't think the collection agency has an office in the park.
I don't have a medical history. I've always been healthy.
What about those scars and burn marks? Lean forward.
My dad. We didn't exactly get along when I was a kid.
How many times were you hospitalized?
Never. He was good at it. Made sure he never did anything that couldn't be covered up by a sweatshirt.
Sorry.
No, don't be. I'm not. The past is the past. That's why I don't like talking about it.
Wow. You look different.
Prednisone has had time to work, so we need to give you the odor ID test now.
Sure.
We need you to tell us what you smell.
Oh, something spoiled? Maybe rotting meat?
It's baby powder.
Oh, I kind of like that one. Peppermint?
It's extremely bad body odor.
Well, you gotta admit, that one's kind of a good deal for me. My backpack. Oh, where'd you find it?
In the park, right next to a big pile of questions.
What kind of drugs you shooting up?
Vitamin supplements. I've been trying to boost my immune system. All right, test me if you don't believe me.
Ferris tell you his real name yet?
Peter Johnson.
Danny Jennings.
I bought those books used.
All from the same guy?
I'm sorry, you know, I think I should check out now, and I should...
Ow! What's wrong?
Oh, my stomach.
Gastrointestinal bleeding.
Is anyone else disturbed by this?
What? She offered.
Danny may have lied about his name, but he was telling the truth about the vials. Tests confirmed they were vitamin A and
He
B12.
also enjoys vitamin H. Kid's a junkie.
Tox screens were negative for drug use.
His hair wasn't. I had it tested. It was unlike Santa and the Easter Bunny. Homeless, non-mentally ill 20-somethings without drug problems don't exist. He was a heavy user sometime in the last 5 months.
Wow. That was incredible. Thank you.
No, thank you. I like a man with the big, strong, sexy feet.
He really puts the manny in the petty.
If he has a history of snorting heroin, he could have caused a dysosmia himself.
But we still need to explain the bleeding in his GI tract.
Vitamin injections could have caused that hypervitaminosis A syndrome.
So his symptoms aren't connected?
House, you buying this?
Not usually. But this guy's been sleeping in a bed of dog poop. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got 6 different symptoms for 6 different reasons.
The bleed could be caused by a GI obstruction.
Vitamin OD makes sense. It's easier to treat. Give him tocopherol and zinc supplements for the excess vitamin A. If we're right, he could go homeless tomorrow.
And if we're wrong, his intestines could get further distressed while we ignore the GI obstruction.
See what happens when women don't have to serve men to stay in the country? They get all uppity. This is why we invented green cards. Go x-ray the guy's abdomen and it'll make you feel all equal.
Your blood test was clean, but your hair showed heroin use.
I've been clean over 3 months now.
How'd you kick it?
I had to die first. I OD'd back in November, and they said I was clinically dead for several minutes. It was like God gave me a second chance to do things right this time.
You're saying God cured you?
No. State rehab cured me. But I should be dead, but I'm not. It has to mean something. I mean, I must be here for a reason, right?
Did you figure out the reason?
My goal is to become a doctor one day. I am smart. I mean, I got a scholarship for pre-med at a high school.
Chase? Look. We found 13 masses spread across the wall of his colon, ranging from 2 to 8 millimeters.
Can't be tumors. Edges are too sharp and defined.
Thought it might be parasites, but we didn't see any movement between X-ray exposures.
And no larvae or eggs were observed in any of his stool samples.
Which is kind of surprising for a homeless junkie living in a park.
The ex-junkie claims he's been clean for over 3 months.
And he's not planning on staying homeless. He's trying to protect his health, which is why he's been taking vitamin supplements. He wants to be a doctor.
He's just telling you what you want to hear.
Once an addict, always an addict.
Can you please not do that in front of me?
Doubt it. You're the main reason I'm on this stuff. We could be looking at fungal masses hanging off the walls of his colon. Start him on amphotericin B tonight, and in the morning run a scope up where the sun don't shine. See if you can find any truffles.
I think we should boycott this wedding on principle.
I kind of have to go. His fiance did give me a foot massage, and he invited me to be in his wedding party.
What about Chase? You ask him.
Yep, he's in it.
What the hell?
You just said you weren't even going.
I still have feelings.
What's that? That's definitely not a fungus. You were bleeding because you had 13 pieces of bone in your digestive tract.
We think you have pica, a craving for non-food items that's caused by a chemical
I
imbalance.
didn't crave them. I kind of volunteered to eat them.
What? Why?
There's this great Italian restaurant I like to frequent. And by restaurant, I mean their dumpster out back. And the cook is kind of a friend of mine. And he challenges me to eat stuff. Sometimes it's raw squid or, I have to chew on a chicken bone. But if I do it, then he hooks me up with real food, not just the garbage.
Great friend.
These fragments could have perforated your colon and killed you.
You have to promise us you'll stop.
I think there's something wrong with my eyes.
What is it?
It's like I'm looking at you from the bottom of a well.